Puerto Rico protests resume outside governor's mansion on Saturday. Demonstrators calling for Puerto Rico's resignation gathered in streets outside the governor's mansion again Saturday afternoon, chanting and banging pots and pans in the latest of several days of protests on the U.S. territory. The protests are sparked in part by last weekend's leaks of offensive private chat messages between the governor and his inner circle. But Saturday, scores of demonstrators stood at least a block from the governor's residence, known as La Fortaleza, facing a line of security officers who kept the crowd from approaching the building any closer. 2 kilometers to the east, about a couple dozen people gathered around a covered table set up outside the Capitol building, listening to a protester read the chat messages that served as the boiling point for this week's unrest. One of those gathered there, Carla Claudio, said the chat messages formed It's. Thousands of demonstrators also crowded San Juan's streets, another in a string of protests over the past week that at times have seen police respond by. Russell's aides have said he does not intend to step down. He has not responded. The chaos in Puerto Rico follows the Center for Investigative Journalism's publication of nearly 900 pages of leaked chats from the governor's private Telegram messenger group, in which he and 11 top aides and cabinet members exchanged profanity-laced about fellow politicians, members of the media and celebrities. In one, the former chief financial officer appeared to joke about those who died in Maria. The leak came the same week that 2 former officials from Russell's administration, as part of a federal corruption investigation, while has refused to step down, 2 cabinet members who participated in the chats, and Friday, one of his aides, press secretary Denise Pertz, also, saying she was upset that a citizen had called her corrupt in front of her son. Saturday, Russell denied an accusation, reported by news outlet Noticel, that he was paid by the island's legislature for access to his father, a former governor, and kept up to $1 million in bank accounts. Russell said on Twitter that was totally it. The accusation comes from Russell's longtime family friend and business partner, Yasim E. Campinas. Campinas told Ricky, "No.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot bar. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.